I'm a student athlete, which means I'm still learning.
I'm still growing.
I'm getting important lessons about perseverance.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent. We hope you enjoy today's broadcast.
You're listening to the Community Radio Network. Follow us via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to other games at 87.5 FM or join us anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
After a nice Thanksgiving break, the Johnston Jaguars are back on the air. And we are live from Boom City in Cumberland County, Fayetteville, North Carolina, as we welcome you to coverage on the Johnston Jaguars YouTube live TV as well as on the Community Radio Network. And we are set for tonight's matchup between the Johnston Jaguars traveling on the road to take on the Fayetteville Tech Trojans. Good evening. I'm Wesley Outland, joined alongside is Kevin Stump. Kevin, we got a great game here. Basketball, two great teams. The stats just don't show what these two teams are caliber-wise. They both got wins. They both got losses. And, of course, they're coming off of a stretch of being off for eating a lot of turkey. And somehow, some way, they got to try to stay in shape and stay focused for this game here tonight.
Oh, yeah. These athletes right here, they're made for that, though. They probably play more basketball than they eat turkey over the holidays. Playing backyard ball with their kids and, you know, their family members, their little nieces and nephews. You know, they love doing stuff like that over the holidays. That's what it's all about. So, but looks like they're confident and they're ready to get it started and get it back after Thanksgiving. So, looks they're ready to go.
We are certainly getting ready to go. We're probably about 8 minutes away or so from tip-off in this game between the Johnston Jaguars and, of course, your the team out of Johnston County traveling here to Fayetteville, taking on Fayetteville Tech. And, you know, we've talked about these teams. We've talked about how good they are. We've talked about how competitive they are. And now it's just time to really do the work. Get out here, make something happen, look for these wins. And if you can do that, you're going to be there at the end. And, of course, we still got a lot of basketball here left to play.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is just, you know, coming off for Thanksgiving break between now and Christmas, you know, you don't even get to halfway through the point of the year, so first and middle of January, you know, then that's when it cranks up. But, you know, as long as they just keep their head in the game and stay strong and play good defense, I mean, I think they'll be all right.
And here's something else to think about as well, Kevin. They have a road stretch for a while. I mean, they're not going to be back at home until December the 8th. So it's going to be a while before they're back at the home. They're on the road again. They're getting ready for a sweep where they're actually going to be on the road for 2 straight nights in a row with basketball on Friday and Saturday. They come back again on a Tuesday, and then they come back for a home stand. So it's been a while. You better get ready to pack your bags and have that Jaguars charter bus ready to go on the road, because if you're going to win some of these games, you're going to have to do it traveling here for the next couple of, at least the next 15 days.
Yeah, I mean, we've had the luxury of playing at Iraq, you know, not having to really do a whole lot of traveling, but, you know, holiday tournaments, playing different teams, you know, conference matchups are coming up, you know, so, I mean, but the boys look crisp, they look ready to go, don't look like they've had any jet lag per se because of the holidays and everything. They look like they're ready to go and itching for a win.
Should be a good one. Johnston Jaguars, again, ready to go. They're wearing the gray on blue. Of course, the Fayetteville, we can show Fayetteville real quickly. That's the team right there in front of you that is warming up. And, of course, that is the Fayetteville Tech Trojans. They're wearing the gray on yellow, black, and gold, getting ready for their warm-ups as well. So we're just about 6.5 minutes away from tip-off to this game, of course. Now, we've covered some women's games, played 4 10-minute periods with a halftime. For the men, it's fast-paced. It's 20 minutes. You have a 10-minute halftime. You come back. You play another 20 minutes, and it's fast-paced basketball. And I'm going to steal a word from our colleague Bruce Barrett. These guys put on a pretty damn good show. They're fun to watch.
Oh yeah, they're running up down the court. I mean, they love the fast break offense, and they're not like a lot of these fast break teams that you got this one guy cherry picking goes back. No, they play a total team defense to get the turnover. But when they get the turnover, if you ain't getting back on defense to guard them, you're gonna be in trouble because these boys got some speed.
Fayetteville Technical Community College Trojans basketball live on the air. This is, of course, sanctioned by the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association. And Coach is now meeting here, just kind of talking and shaking hands, getting ready to go here at midcourt. Should be a good matchup again as we prepare for this game of the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association men's basketball here tonight in Boone City. Oh, nice always coming here and visiting Fayetteville. Normally when I come down in these parts, I go to Fayetteville Motor Speedway and do announcing over there at the dirt tracks, or stop up and visit at Galat Motorsports Park up the road about another 30 miles north of here up 95. But, man, this is a nice atmosphere. Want to let everyone know they are not playing at Fayetteville Tech. They are playing, I believe the location,
Reed
Ross Middle High School. Reed Ross Classical Middle High School is where they're playing right now. So that's the location of where they're playing this game. But no doubt about it, it is a beautiful facility. You were talking about how hyped up and piped up it was. You hear the atmosphere with the music in the background. You see the teams warming up. People are coming in. They're coming in behind us in the grandstand area. And again, this is no doubt about it. We might be in a high school court, but this is college basketball ready to go down.
Oh, I mean, and even if you look at the logos, obviously, I don't know, this is my first time covering Fayetteville Tech Community College, but it looks like with the logos on the floor, those logos look pretty permanent. So I'm thinking this might be where they play all the time, even though it might be a middle school, high school facility. I mean, you got to think, JCC doesn't play at JCC. They play at the Sir Atkins Smithfield next to Triple S High School.
That's right.
But, I mean, a court, for these guys, a basketball court is a basketball court. I don't care if you got a bucket hanging from a telephone pole. They're just itching to get out here and play the game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're about 4 minutes away from tip-off to get this game started. And, of course, this game is getting ready to go. We're pumped up. We're excited. We're glad you're here with us, and it should be a good one here. As, again, these two teams are ready. Should be a good one. Want to say hello to everybody that's joining us. I'm trying to multitask and take care of all of our social media handles, if you will, to let everybody know that we are live.
Well, at least while you're doing it, they've got them a good DJ out here.
They do.
Hey,
they're jamming.
It ain't like they've got a playlist neither. I mean, they've got an actual DJ with a turntable and his computer up there on the stage.
Yeah, he's up there on the stage. And
I mean,
we'll just show there real quickly.
When you go to Fayetteville, you're going to get it big. I can promise you that.
Yeah, they're ready to go here in Boone City, no doubt about it. And we are ready to go as well, of course, as these two teams final minutes before warm-up, final minutes before preparation. And we're looking forward to it here on the Community Radio Network as well as on the Johnston Jaguars YouTube channel as the final preparations of the teams are getting in place. Kevin, you called a couple of these games, bud, for the men and the women. What do you think of the team so far this year and what we've seen out of them?
Like the very first game me and you did on that Saturday at Sirac when they played that home game, they look a little bit out of sorts. First game, this and that, But, I mean, as the season's gone by, you can see the cohesion of the team, Yeah. It's not like you think they're going to be there like a drawn-up play. Actually, they don't even have to think about it and think twice, They know their teammate's going to be where they're supposed to be so they can run the offense. Coach Creasy, he knows that if he calls out offense, he knows that everybody's going to know where to be at the exact same time. and everybody knows what to do. It ain't now you're getting into the point of being 5 or 6 games deep. 6-7 games deep, you're trusting your teammates more. You know where they're going to pass it. You know how they're going to pass it. Sure. You know how to run the offense. You know who's going to make baskets, and you know who's going to, play defense. And like we've seen in the past few games that I've been to. Yeah. Their defense is definitely starting to step up. They're taking more charges. They're not hand checking and getting silly fouls called on them. the defense is stepping up, which turns into fast break opportunities for the offense. And when they have one, they definitely take advantage of it.
And that's the things. You don't want to make these mistakes. You don't want to make the mistakes that are gonna cost you or be penalties and whatnot. So you really want to be on your game for sure and know that you got what's going on right in front of you, ready to go. And you don't want to have these mistakes for sure.
Yeah, silly mistakes. I mean, just like when we broadcast the football games, coaches hate offensive, false start or, block in the back or hands to the face. I mean, it's the same thing here. These guys know these referees. They've seen them, and the referees have seen the players. They know they can't hand check even. They're going to try to do it and play defense and this and that, But, I mean, they know what they can and can't do for the most part. So, we'll see how it goes.
We now go down courtside for pregame ceremonies.
Officials, student athletes, coaches, team representatives, or athletic site administrators will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the premises. And spectators entering the playing field or court are subject to a 12-month suspension from all NJCAA events. Thank you for your support and cooperation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Fayetteville Technical Community College welcomes you to the Reed Ross Classical Gymnasium for this evening's basketball game between the Jaguars at Johnston County Community College and your. Here at Fayetteville Tech, safety is our top priority. In keeping with the protocols of the NJCAA and the state of North Carolina, Fayetteville Tech is requiring all in attendance to wear a face covering at all times and practice social distancing of at least 6 feet from others. And please stay seated behind the red lines in the stands, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for helping us compete in a safe manner. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you will please rise if you're able and remove your hats as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem by Mrs. Rosette Simmons.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the robbers we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in there, yet proved through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
There you go with the national anthem. Just finishing up, and now we'll get ready for player introduction.
Let's direct our attention to the court as we introduce the starters for tonight's game. Starting with Johnston Community College. Number 1, Dorian Ruffin. Number 2, Kevin Green. Number 3, Casey Perkins. Number 11, Waikis Allen. And number 25, Jermaine Marino. Now, ladies and gentlemen, your starters for your Trojans. Number 2, Chance Minot. Number 10, George Jones. Number 11, Jeremy Bryant. Number 14, Adam Carey. And number 42, Michael Okoye. Ladies and gentlemen, please find our starting lineups, good luck, gentlemen. And let's go, Trojans.
So the Trojans and the Jaguars are coming up next. We hope you enjoy it. Stand by.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Both teams making their way down to courtside Johnston Jaguars are the away squad. They're wearing the blue on gray. Johnston on the front of these numbers in the back and front for the Jaguars of Johnston County. For the Trojans of Fayetteville Tech, they're wearing their gray with a gold and black numbers with Trojans on the front. We await the tip-off to get this game underway. As this game starts, and quickly, it's going to go quickly to the Trojans, and they respond fast. Number 11 to the basket, making it count. That's Jermaine Bryant. And Jermaine Bryant will quickly score for Fayetteville Tech to make it 2-0. Underway here in the opening period. Juking, jiving with the ball. Come on, Green. Green will go down to Keith Allen. Allen will now find the top of the circle and look for a three-point shot by Dorian Ruffin, and it's good, Kevin.
Yeah, that's just like we said, them being at the right place in the right time and knowing where their teammates are going to be at the right place at the right time.
3-2. Johnston up by 1. Adam Carey now with the ball. He'll set it up and hand it down to Chance Minot. Minot will now go inside the circle to George Jones Jr. He'll now look and find Michael Akobe under the circle. They'll put it in, and now the Trojans are back up by 1. 4-3. Response back under the basket. No good. And the rebound coming back for the now Trojans. They'll stop, reset. That's Adam Carey. Carey goes inside the paint. Going loud, giving it to George Jones Jr. Rebound, falls to the ground. Picks it back up. It's Michael Akobe. Shot for 3 for downtown. No good on the attempt by Fayetteville by number 2, Chance Minot. And here comes Johnston Jaguars back on the offense. To the ground goes number 2 of Come on, Green. And now they'll play for it again. The rebound back by Green. Looking under the circle to Casey Perkins. Perkins, basket,
nice
2 and good.
Nice pass.
Turning things around quickly. Johnston up now by 1 here in Fayetteville. Chance Minot. Minot will find out number 10 of George Jones Jr. Jones will go back to Minot again. Minot is a center, 6-foot sophomore from Kinston. Shot for 2, and it's in on a fader and good for the Trojans. Now they lead back by 1, 6-5 here in the opening period, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, it's been back and forth. That's just what we talked about at the beginning of the game, like in pregame. It's going to be a fast-paced game right here.
Fast-paced game. Come on, Green now with the rock, trying to slow down the tempo. 15 now with a shot clock. Back around to the top of the key. A shot for 3 on the side, and it is good by number 25, Jermaine Vereen, sophomore. Puts it in for 3, and the Trojans are now up by 2.
Yeah, that was great pass to the outside by Marine. So I mean, that was good play.
Basket in and good. Here come now the Fayetteville Tech Trojans now back on the offense, powering their way to the basket under pressure. Is Minot. Minot will turn it back over and give it back to the Trojans. Come on, Green. Green slapped under the boards was the attempt by Waukese Allen to the basket. He'll get fouled. He's going to go to the line.
Yeah, that was a good dish and drive right there. That was really good way to take it to the basket.
So number 11, Waukese Allen, the freshman for the Trojans, will go to the line, and he will be shooting 2. Game underway. Still a lot of basketball left to play. And right now, it is 8-6. Good game, good matchup here between these two teams. We're live. Give us a follow. Give us a like on our Johnston Community College stream. Versus the Fayetteville Tech Trojan. Here we go down with a 2-point lead. And he made both free throws, so the points should go up on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
And should now be 10-6, and they'll make that shot. The basket, as they've not updated the scoreboard yet. And now the Trojans coming back to respond on defense. Shot, no good. Rebound, here come the Trojans again. Back up court, basket.
Oh, that's blocked.
Vereen with a block. No, that's Waukese Allen throwing the block there. And he got it. And he'll find, come on, Green to the basket, and he's fouled to go to the line. So it's getting kind of hairy right now. Oh. Yeah, we got a crash under the boards here.
Damn, he having a seat with a trainer. Hey, y'all come around here. Go.
We got a player under the table?
No. You probably go to commercial.
We're gonna go to a commercial break here, guys. I think we got an injury timeout, so we're gonna step away. We're also at the top of the hour, so we'll pause for 10 seconds of network identification on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to the Community Radio Network. Follow us via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to other games at 87.5 FM or join us anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about homes, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
"Only you can prevent wildfires."
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. A plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
We have a stoppage of action on the court here as we have a medical timeout at the officials' table. One of the officials is having a medical emergency, and that is the reason why we have a stoppage of play right now. So it's 16:56 remaining here in the first half of play. It's 8-6 right now, and the Johnston Jaguars are up by 2. Again, we have a medical emergency. That is the reason for a timeout on the court. And once we get things back in order, we will go back to the resumption of play. From Fayetteville, this is Johnston Jaguars basketball on CRN, the Community Radio Network, and for those that are watching on Johnston Jaguars YouTube TV.
These are the sounds of a dinner that almost didn't happen. A dinner now served, thanks to people like you. Due to COVID-19, 17 million more Americans may face hunger. Feeding America is helping our neighbors in need. And if you're able, you can too. Donations are being accepted at feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
These are the sounds of a dinner that almost didn't happen. A dinner now served, thanks to people like you. Due to COVID-19, 17 million more Americans may face hunger. Feeding America is helping our neighbors in need. And youramerica.org/coronavirus. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Okay, we have an update. They have requested for the players to exit off the court and to make their way back to the locker room. We have a medical emergency at the officials' table, and in doing so, I believe they've summoned for the local area rescue squad to come here. So in doing so, we have put a stoppage of play on the court with 16:56 remaining in the first half of play. Kevin, if you just want to turn the cameras to our way, you can show us here as we welcome you our coverage. Welcome here he is Kevin Stump. He's doing color and running the camera. I'm Wesley Outland. Again, we have a medical emergency, and for that reason, we have stopped all activity on the court. They've asked the players to exit off the court, go back to the locker room, and in doing so, we're going to be on delay here for some time now. And all we can say is keep your thoughts and prayers with the medical situation that we have over there.
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing, for the players and the coaches and anybody here in the stands to see anything happen to anybody, whether it be a fan, an official, a player, anything. So I mean, thoughts and prayers.
And it's like literally right beside us in our broadcast position. So that's why we're trying to do some kind of a diversion, if you will, in letting them handle what's going on. So again, there's no stoppage of play, but we will go back to what's happened on the court so far. Kevin, looks like right now, Coach Creasy and the Johnston Jaguars have really got off to a good start right now. Right now, they're up by 4.
Yeah, so. I mean, up by 4. They played about 4 minutes, about 3.5, about 3 minutes. So, but so far, like we talked about in the pregame, in a couple of 3 minutes. I mean, 16 points scored between the two teams in that time period. So, I mean, it's.
Yeah, right now they're up by 4 points. So they're doing really, really good right now with the way the score is. Again, we do have a medical emergency here at Fayetteville with one of the it's not even a player, it's one of the school officials. He fell over. We're hearing that it possibly might be a seizure. So again, they have summoned for the fire and rescue to come here and to assess this situation. And in doing so, they have called for the players to make their way back to the court.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud Ann. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by RP and the Ad Council.
Everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to Smokey to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why
America is helping our neighbors in need. And if you're able, you can too. Donations are being accepted at feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing. But not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. School lunch will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is the reality in our country, but it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
You're listening to the Community Radio Network. Follow us via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to other games at 87.5 FM or join us worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
All right, we're back here inside Fayetteville, and the resumption of play will begin here in a few moments. The rescue squad here attending to the person that had the medical emergency, and that's the reason why we're under a delay. We were 16:56 remaining in the first half, and then we had a medical emergency, Kevin, and that's kind of put a stop to everything. But they already got the players. You see them on the broadcast back out, warming up on the court. We should be ready to go back to resumption of play here once we get these guys taken care of. That is the most important thing right now is for the condition of the person. And I will tell you, he's sitting up right now. He is talking to the rescue and the Fayetteville Tech and trainers, so that is a good sign. Keeping the players on the court now, having them warming up, keeping them fresh, if you will, keeping them in shape. Yeah. We should be ready to go back to resumption here in a moment. But right now, Johnston Jaguars up by 4.
Yeah, and that little 15-minute break they had, albeit, not wanted, hate to see anybody get hurt or anything like that or anybody have any kind of medical emergency. But, as fast-paced as that was in the first 3 minutes and 4 seconds in that game, they were probably, that break was, they'll take it, albeit for a bad reason and a bad situation. But, yeah, like you said, it looks like the gentleman sitting up and talking to the paramedics. So hopefully we'll get the action started back here in the next few minutes.
So, again, we'll get these players on the court here.
But, and like we were talking in pregame, the Jaguars are a little bit on the smaller side, and Fayetteville Tech, they've got some tall guys out there. At least probably 1, 2, 3, at least 4 of them over 6'2". So, it's a little bit of a defensive struggle on both ends, but,
yeah.
His foot's hitting the thing.
All right, we had a power glitch there, not of our control, so we'll get ready to try to go back to the resumption of play here. All right, ready to get this game back underway. Jaguars and Trojans. After a medical emergency, back to resumption of play. 10-6, they're up by 4. Chance Monat. Monat will find inside the circle. Jace Ford. Ford will go. Basket shot attempt for 3 by Jermaine Bryant.
Get 42 for over the back.
And they're going to shoot him, and it's going to be over the back on Michael Akobi, the Ford center at 6'8". From Nigeria, mind you. Turnover to the Jaguars. Ball coming back for them. So it will be Jaguars ball. Up court, Waukee Allen. Allen will set it up to Ruffin. Ruffin at midcourt now. Moving up, Jaguars up by 4. Ruffin looking inside, finding now Kamon Green to the circle, to Perkins. One side of the paint to the other. Kamon Green with a jumper and 2 off the rim. No good with 12 on the shot clock. Turns it over, gives it back now to the Fayetteville Trojans, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, like we were talking about earlier, I mean, this is going to be a fast-paced game, so it's going to make, it's going to come down to, which team's going to make more baskets.
Power into the basket, shot for 2 and good. They're going to call it a 2-point shot. Basket for 2 by Monat. And here come now the Trojans coming up down by 2. Here come now the Jaguars back around in the crease, looking around, going down to Ruffin. Ruffin will go to the other side of the circle from Perkins. Perkins will now find Jermaine Vereen. Find Kamon Green. Nice circle and a triangle and a shot off the rim, and it's no good. Attempt for 3 made by Casey Perkins. Trojans now back to the offense. They get the rebound. Shot for 3. Makes it. They're going to call it a 2-point shot. Only for 2. The game is tied. That's Jace Ford, the 5'11 guard that put it in, Kevin, and we're all tied even here at Fayetteville at 10.
Yeah, both teams pushing it and playing good defense. I mean, this is going to be a offense, defense, who can score more points kind of game.
Rebounds, trying to come back after it. Perkins, he got tripped up and smacked in the mouth. Number 2, Kamon Green. And Green's going to get fouled. Foul on number 4 for the Tech of Fayetteville Trojans of Ford. And this is going to bring Kamon Green to the line. And the freshman for the Johnston Jaguars will go to the line and shoot 2. We're tied at 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's back and forth. It's going to be a back and forth battle all game.
15:04 remaining in the first half. Kamon Green, first shot at free throw up and good. Rebound. And again, he got fouled when he was going to the paint. He comes in, first shot, 1 for 2 at the line. He's getting his second shot as Savon Holland, sophomore, now coming in for the Jaguars on the sub. 15:04 remaining in the first. Trojans now down by 1 as that free throw was good. Second one good by Kamon Green. And the Jaguars are now back up by 2, Kevin Stump.
Yeah, running a little bit of full court pressure.
Showing pressure, showing signs. 24. Aaron Potter now in the game for the Trojans. Gets it off to Ford. Ford to the basket. Basket no good. He is fouled, though. And there's a foul called. Foul on number 1 for Ruffin for the Trojans, for the Jaguars. And for the Trojans of Fayetteville Tech, Jace Ford, 5'11 freshman. Graduated from Overhills High School right here in Boone City. And he will go to the line and shoot 2. First free throw was good. 1-point lead. Here comes now in for the Jaguars, number 12, Charles Walker Jr.
Yeah, and it looks like Coach Gracie's talking to him about, using your hips a little bit more to tell him where you want to go instead of hand checking, because that's what he got the foul from.
Shot, second one up off the nets and good, and we're all tied even at 12 again here in the first period. First half of play, 12-12. Nice run. There's Casey Perkins. Perkins will now find Green. Kamon Green for 3, and
nice.
It is in and good. That's actually number 10, Holland, for the 3-point shot and good, Kevin.
Yeah, that was good passing to a wide open man. I mean, as long as they keep hitting them shots like that, keep giving them the ball.
Kay Edwards. Aaron Potter. Kay Edwards will go down to Evan Potter now. And we got a whistle. Here comes some subs coming in. Daniel Green guard forward for the Trojans of Fayetteville. 15-12, a 3-point lead. They are sending they're sending him to a nearby hospital for further observation. So, and that's why you hear the clap and the cheer, is that official is now making his way back, walking under his own power to the ambulance, and he's going to be taken to a nearby hospital for observation. Here we go. Resumption of play, 14-25, 15-12. We've got a whistle and a foul and a reach in there. I believe they're going to call it on number 25. We'll find out. No foul on number 4.
Called timeout.
And we have number 4 of Ford calling a timeout. So that was the reason for the stoppage of play. All right, so we had a timeout on the court. Johnston Jaguars, Kevin, they're up by 3. They're looking good so far.
Yeah, I mean, they ain't had a lot of misses, and when they did, we've talked in the past about crashing the boards after you shot. Coach Creasy's definitely, been instilling that in them over the holiday break, because they are, every time somebody shoots the ball, everybody but the shooter has been crashing the boards, and they've been getting a lot of rebounds.
Crashing the boards, a lot of rebounds, still a lot of basketball here left to play, as it is currently 15-12 right now, 15-12. We welcome you back to our... And the Jaguars on the road here tonight. Shot. Powers up to the basket. No one there. He'll jump up for a fader, and it is off the rim and no good. That's on the shot clock as well. He got the rebound back, though. He'll block it. Number 12 going to be called for the foul for the Jaguars of Charles Walker Jr. So the shot clock went dead. They missed the ball. They got their rebound back. And then number 0, power into the basket, fouled by Walker. And Daniel Green will go to the line now, but he will shoot 2.
Yeah, but I mean, that was Walker's first foul. And, like if you talk, you'll see on the broadcast, he shrugged his shoulder.
15-12, he misses the first free throw. So right there, just like you said, you miss that first free throw, you come right back and you respond. That's exactly what they're doing.
And he's going to miss the second one up front of the rim, but they can't get the rebound.
That's Kay Edwards. Edwards will now find Potter around the top of the circle. He'll now look for number 50. That's the big man for the Trojans of Fred Judd. Judd will turn it over. The shot clock goes 0. And the Trojans turn it over back to the Jaguars, or will they?
Yep.
They Jaguars give it right back to Fayetteville. Here they come back up court, led by Aaron Potter. Potter slows down the tempo under pressure with Casey Perkins for the Jaguars on defense. He falls down, turns over the ball, and they actually called a timeout. So he did call a timeout. (15-12), still 3-point lead. Getting a little aggressive on the court now between both teams now in the early going, Kevin.
Yeah, but, I mean, like we were talking in the beginning, they were like 2 20-minute halves compared to the women's playing the 14-minute quarters, and it would be a little bit more fast-paced. But, I mean, with the medical emergency we had, and there's only been 7 minutes gone so far. So, I mean, it's been a slow go in the beginning. There's been a little bit of, after Thanksgiving, too much turkey and cranberry sauce kind of lackadaisical fouls, and it'll take about a good first 10-15 minutes to get that worked out, but then we should get on a little bit more of a faster pace, even though I'm not saying it's not been a fast pace. It's back and forth. I mean, they're wearing my arm out with this camera, running up down the court as fast as they are. But I mean, hey,
they are certainly running up and down the court for sure. No doubt about that, man. Definitely. Thanks for those that are watching. Again, we are live. We're doing some new streaming for our Johnston Jaguars radio select here tonight at Fayetteville. And right now, it is the Jaguars up by 3. A shot.
Oh, nice
coming
steal.
Up and a turnover.
Waukese.
Coming up is Allen. Waukese Allen will carry it to the house.
Nice.
With the jumper and the assist by number 2. Come on, Green to help him and puts it in. They're up by 5 now. Biggest lead of the game for the Jaguars here in Fayetteville.
Yeah, that's just like I was talking about. Joaquin went down there. He had a pretty wide open layup, but, make sure they did with the follow-up, and that's what got him the basket.
And here comes Fayetteville back to basket as he was sideways and put it in, number 24. What precision by Aaron Potter, the 6-foot freshman guard from Winston-Salem Christian High School. And he put it in for 2. They're down by 3 now. Here comes Johnston. They respond. Shot, jumper, Holland for 3, and it's short. Rebound, jumping high in the air, number 1 for the Trojans of Kay Edwards. Rebound, bounced off, in and out off the rim, and no good for the Trojans. And here come the Jaguars. They'll respond. Shot, jumper for 2. No good. Hey, guys, this is a broadcast. Hey! This is a broadcast booth. You got to go to the table.
There's Coach Outlook coming out.
And they were blocking our position here. Potter, jumper inside, looks for Adam Carey. Carey, and it's a travel. They'll turn it over and give it back to the Jaguars. Offensive foul actually called on number 14 of Adam Carey for the Trojans, and that will give the ball back to the Johnston Jaguars, Kevin.
Yeah, I mean, that was, they have been running their offensive precision right there, but, up by 3 with 11:48 to go. So, I mean, that was good. That was good, like we were talking about at the beginning. And getting the shot
Sounds
clock
like some
straight.
warnings are being given. I'm getting the shot clock back going good
back,
as well. Yeah, they are. Dorian Ruffett with the rock. Sets up to Holland. Correction, Allen. Allen will now throw it away. DeAndre Dabney just cannot catch it. It looked like a football pass, if you will, Kevin.
Yeah, just a little bit too high and a little bit outside.
Just coming up short. And now Fayetteville trying to respond back. They're down by 3. A field goal by the game. Basket and 1. If he gets it, he misses the rim. DeAndre Dabney jumps up through the pile.
That was great.
Gets it away from Fayetteville. And they'll throw it back, deflected in the stands to Johnston Jaguars. Joaquin Allen is going to inbound it.
Yeah, that was great defense. He went straight up with the shooter, so there wouldn't have been a foul. So that was great defense.
Allen to Ruffin. Ruffin with the rock. He slows down the tempo of the game. Just at midcourt. They lead by 3. Close it in on halfway in the first half of this period. 20 minutes. Double periods. The shot. Rim. No good. Rebound. Trojans. They respond. Here comes Jalen Hinton. Hinton will find out. Number 2. Minot back to Hinton. Under the circle. Basket. Rebound. Nope. Yep, he got it. 25 for the Jaguars. Response of Jermaine Vereen. No basket. Offensive foul.
Make free throws.
And they're going to call it a foul. He's going to go to the line. He's going to shoot 2 as the foul is called on number 2 of Chance Minot for the Fayetteville Tech. There's a non-shooting foul, actually.
Yeah, he called it on the floor.
Called on the floor, non-shooting foul, so it will be just the Jaguars inbounding it.
Get low, Jermaine.
And it sounds like they're calling the foul on number 23 of Jordan
23 on the shot clock.
23 on the shot clock. There you go. My apologies. There we go. And the rim, no good. Rebound comes back for Fayetteville. They come through with it. So Fayetteville's back on the offense again. Minot inside to George Jones Jr. He'll get fouled. Whistle, stoppage of play. That's 5th foul now of the Jaguars. Foul on number 25, and that's going to be Jermaine Vereen, sophomore for Johnston Jr. from Pamlico County, North Carolina. He graduated from Pamlico High School, 6'2" sophomore. So, Trojans, it's a 2-point lead now. Very close game, Kevin.
Oh, yeah, it's been a close game on defense, close game on scoreboard. They're all hanging with each other. So, I mean, it's been a good battle so far.
Next shot coming up Off the rim, and it's good. So both free throws, number 10, George Jones Jr. cuts the lead to 1 now for the Johnston Jaguars. Basket, that's number 11. Waukee Allen. Allen will find Ruffin. Ruffin off the rim, off the nets, no good. Powers under pressure with 3 men to beat for the Trojans, and fouled is Dabney.
Oh, it's going to be out of bounds.
And it's actually out of bounds, and they're going to turn it over and give it back to Fayette. No, Johnston will keep the ball.
Yeah, they didn't call a foul. Instead, they called it out of bounds. But
There you go.
It should have been a foul.
I should have been a foul in my opinion. Yeah, there we go.
Man,
Dorian Ruffin. Ruffin will go back to Dabney. Dabney resets, top of the key, looks around, finds Charles Walker. Walker will now find Kamon Green. It's good to see Kamon Green back. Remember, he had an injury, probably the second game of the season, where he came storming out of the court, where he had to have a couple of stitches. Under the basket. Shot. Allen on the 0 shot clock. It turns it over. So no points for Johnston. Shot by Hinton for 3 and good. And now the lead goes to Fayetteville.
Yeah, that was a 5-point swing right there.
Jalen Hinton long from downtown on the circle with a long three. And he's traveling. Traveling on Dabney. They turn the ball over and give it back to Fayetteville. Dabney's going to come out. Number 10, Holland's coming in. And it is now a 2-point lead for the Fayetteville Trojans. Chance Bernard, 6-foot sophomore guard. He carries the ball. Ball up the inside. Shot. Basket. Is it in? It's good. That's for 2. They call it for 3. It's a 3-point shot. Somebody said 3, another one said 2. There's a 2 to respond by number 11 of Allen. Waukee Allen, freshman, puts it in now. It is a 3-point shot, so it's 22-19. 22-19, and another bomb for 3 by Hinton, no good. Coming through, though, the rebound. Powers to the basket, Minot. Minot sets it up and finds Green. Green goes to the ground. They'll call travel on the Trojans and give it back to the Johnston Jaguars.
Yeah, he tried to do a little bit too much spinning and twisting with the ball, and it kind of tangled up his own. He tangled up his own feet.
A little spinning and grinning, and it's going to be the Jaguars with the rock as Allen will inbound it. Allen sets back up to find Ruffin. Ruffin at midcourt now. 8:34 remaining here in the first half of play. To the basket strong. Number 2, come on, Green. Green under pressure. Carries it on his own. Look at the fancy footwork, and the ball comes loose. Turns it over, gives it back down to Fayetteville. K. Edwards. Edwards to Hinton for 3 off the rim. It's no good. Rebound by Holland for the Jaguars. Here they come. Back to Kamon Green. Kamon Green about lost it. Turns it over like an interception. And it's finished strong. Number 1, K. Edwards will put it in. Fayetteville's got something started all of a sudden. They're up by 5, Kevin.
Yeah, they've definitely picked up the pace and the defensive on the defensive end too.
Ruffin to Kamon Green. Shot by Holland and makes it for 3.
Yeah, they needed that one bad.
Savon Holland from the side of the circle puts it in, and now it's a 2-point lead for the Trojans of Fayetteville Tech. 24-22 the score. Shot.
Same
in and out by Hinton on the rim. That was actually K. Edwards for the 3rd time on the field goal. Short.
Nice
Holland
play.
is
Good
there.
drive.
Give it back to Allen for 2.
First half, we got a warning of the first delay game warning of the half.
We have a warning being given to the Johnston Jaguars for a delay of game. So a delay of game is being given to the Johnston Jaguars. A warning has been given to the bench. Can't let that happen again, Kevin. That'll be a technical foul.
Yeah, you can't make silly mistakes like that. But at least it was a warning, so,
Daniel Green will inbound it back down for the Trojans of Fayetteville Tech. Sets up, finds now George Jones Jr. Jones finds it, turns over, give it back down to the Jaguars. Number 12 with a recovery, Charles Walker Jr. He's going to go to the line. I think he got fouled.
They'll call it on the floor, I think. Nope.
Shot clock at 26 is what they're requesting. And it will be Jaguars basketball. Dorian Ruffin will inbound it. Ruffin looking for Holland. Block goes inside and finds Walker Jr. Charles Walker juking, jiving, footwork, and in for two. Charles Walker Jr., freshman in.
And just like that, they were down by 5, and now they're up by 2. And this is a fast-paced,
26-24 response. No good by the Trojans. Here come the Jaguars. Perkins under the basket, and he turns it over.
Rolled right off
Last touch by Fayetteville. I believe Johnston will keep the rock.
Oh, somebody get ready to get set. Oh, media timeout. Okay.
And we have a media timeout. 6:52 remaining here in the first half. A fast-paced game. Johnston Jaguars, they're leading by 2.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick and proud aunt. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. 1 in 6. That little girl sitting alone at the playground, she can't play like the other kids. She doesn't have the energy because she's hungry. Squash will be her only meal today. It breaks my heart that this is something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of food that would have gone to waste. This food is then provided to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about using your imagination, learning, and having fun. These children shouldn't have to miss out on simply being a kid because they're hungry. To find out how you can help end childhood hunger in your community, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Back after the media timeout. Welcome back to coverage from Fayetteville. 26-24 Jaguars of the Trojans. I'm Wesley Outland, the voice of the Johnston Jaguars. The Trojans also here in Fayetteville doing a good game, a fast-paced matchup. Kevin Stump alongside. 16 fouls for the Trojans, 15 fouls for the Jaguars. And the Trojans will now have possession. And here we go again. And Kevin, as you said, at one time they were down by 5. Now they're back up by 2. Under pressure. Forward to the basket. And it's turnover. Jaguar basketball.
Yeah, that was great defense. He went in and swatted the ball and hit it right off of the defender's knee. Hit it off his own knee, so that's a good turnover by
26-24. Powering to the basket. Number 11. Looking, setting, finding. Number 1. Dorian Ruffin. Ruffin pressure. Looking. 15 on the shot clock. 3 to beat.
Nice
basket. He is going to get fouled.
Get a blocking foul on number 24.
Trojans called on the foul and the block. Number 24, Aaron Potter, the 6-foot freshman from Winston-Salem guard for Fayetteville Tech. And this is going to bring Dorian Ruffin for the freshman Jaguar to the line. He'll shoot 2, and they're going to try to increase that lead up by 2. First shot up by Ruffin, and it is good. Now a 3-point lead for the Johnston Jaguars, traveling on the road here tonight to take on Fayetteville Tech.
Yeah, it's been a very fast-paced game so far.
17 fouls now on the Fayetteville Tech. 1 away from the 1-and-1. Next time they go in the bonus. 5 on Johnston Jaguars, and here come the Trojans trying to come back to respond. Adam Carey looking, finding 4 to the basket. Shot off the rim. It's no good. Rebound. Coming back. They steal it. Takes it away from Perkins.
Yes.
Tremaine Bryant. Bryant trying to find Carey.
Hey, Coach Greasy was not happy about that sequence.
We're all tied up at 26. Perkins, footwork, saves it all. They're back up by 2. Perkins 4-2.
It's actually going to be up by 3. There you go. They fixed the clock. He made that first free throw a minute ago, and it wasn't registering on the clock.
Gotcha. So a free throw added to the clock, and then the 2-point shot. So they're up by 3 now. 29-26. Subs are coming in. Chance Minot coming in now. Boy, Coach Jay Creasy getting fired up. He's took off his jacket. 3-point lead, 29-26 here in Fayetteville. It will be Jaguar basketball. It's a 3-point lead, 5:39 remaining here in the first half. Sets it up, Dorian Ruffin. Ruffin now will look and try to find Waikese Allen on the top of the circle. Allen, no one there. Ruffin carry it's on his own. Now finds Holland. Holland powers to the basket. 2 men to beat. In and out, no good. Waikese Allen with the rebound. It's a travel on Allen. Turnover and give it back to the Fayetteville Tech Trojans.
Yeah, whenever Holland missed the basket, he went for the rebound. He couldn't get it in time, and he was already falling backwards.
Subs coming in, number 42 for the Fayetteville Trojans, and that's going to be Michael Okovi going in. As number 11, Jeremy Bryant will go out. 5:20 remaining in the first half. A dandy here in Boom City. Monat to Potter. Potter back to Monat again, top of the crease, looks around, finds Carey. One side of the circle, trying to get this triangle formation ongoing. They go back from one to the other. Hot potato continues. Now Potter with the rock to the other side of the circle. Looks back inside to Carey. Carey trying to find number 1 of Edwards. And there's a whistle and a foul. Foul on number 10 of Holland for the Trojans. They'll go to the line. And number 1, Kay Edwards, the guard, 6'3" freshman from Montreat College, graduated out of Hickory, North Carolina. Will go to the line, and he will shoot 2. It's a 3-point lead for the Jaguars now. First shot. Up. Good. Cut the lead to 2 now, Kevin.
Yeah, the one shooting right now, he's a man after my own heart. Because when I shot, I did the exact same thing he's doing. I always made mine, too, most of the time.
Second shot up. Good. Cut the lead now to 1. 29-28, 5 minutes under remaining in the first half. A dandy of a good one here in Fayetteville tonight. Come on, Green. Green will find Holland to Allen. Allen under the basket rim, no good. Rebound, Fayetteville on the rebound. They respond, they come back on the offense. Potter carries it all the way to the house in a basket and 1. He's fouled. Basket's good by number 1.
That's one thing.
Kay Edwards, and he'll make it a 3-point play.
Yeah, and that's one thing coaches get so irked about. If you're going to foul them, make sure you foul them where they're at least not going to get the extra point out of it.
This shot at the free throw will tie the game back to 29. If he makes it, subs coming in. Jermaine Vereen, sophomore for the Johnston Jaguars, going in as number 10, Savon Holland will come out. He makes this free throw, basket and 1. The game is tied. Shot, well, actually 2-point lead now, so it's 31-29. Little late on updating the scoreboard is what they were doing, so it's 31-29 now. Under the basket.
Oh,
2 to tie.
Turnover.
Jump ball's called. No, they don't. They turn it over. Give it back to Fayetteville to the basket. Kay Edwards. Edwards off the bounce of the backboard. No good. Gets his rebound back. But here comes Kamon Green for the Jaguars to respond. He'll get it back to Ruffin. Ruffin sets up to Perkins. Oh, it's like a football tackle. No whistle.
Nice
no call. Shot for 3. Bams and makes it in. Jermaine Green.
Yeah, that was some good passing. Always looking for the open man.
Tied 31-all with 4 minutes remaining in the first half. Potter, Edwards. Rim, no good. Rebound, Johnston responds. Here comes Waikese Allen. Allen to Ruffin. Ruffin back to Allen again, top of the circle. He'll now find Kamon Green. Green, 3 men to beat.
Oh, nice
Looks to
pass.
Perkins is there, and it's
Nice
in
pass.
for 2.
Yeah, he faked. He was looking like he was going to pass it out to the 3-point line, and a no-look pass right there to Holland. Wow.
And they're getting fired up. Trojans under pressure now, down by 2. What a game. You got 15 on the shot clock, halfway there. 10 on the shot clock. Travel, basket's no good. They're going to call a foul. Foul on number 25, Jermaine Vereen. Got subs coming in for both Fayetteville and Johnston. Number 10, Savon Holland's coming in. Number 10 and number 0 for Fayetteville also in of Daniel Green and George Jones Jr. 33-31. It's a 2-point lead. 3:17, Kevin remaining, and we're going to shot at the free throw line as Potter will shoot 2.
Yeah, I think Coach Christian's getting agitated at some of the Zebras for not. He feels like they should need to leave their whistle in their pockets a little bit more, but
let them play maybe.
Let them play a little bit more.
Let them play. Rebound, no good. It was on a 1-and-1. So they'll turn it over, give it back to Johnston. Shot for three. Bam! Charles Walker Jr. from downtown and a three-point shot. They're back up by 5.
Yeah, he is a pure shooter.
A talent. And now the Trojans coming back to respond with Crew. Carry under the basket. In by Daniel Green. Guard forward, 6'3", freshman from Raleigh. He graduated from the Southeast Raleigh High School, home of the Bulldogs. Shot for 3, and that's a 2-point shot. Come on, Green responds. Basket was good. It's a 5-point lead. Oh, that was a travel if I've ever seen one. George Jones walking on his feet, turned around at a 360, and they never called it.
Yeah, they're letting it play a little bit.
35, 38, 33, 2.5 remaining here in the first. Up by 5, Johnston Jaguars. Charles Walker trying to slow down the tempo. Goes to Dorian Ruffin. Ruffin almost to midcourt. Loses the ball. He's fouled. He is fouled, and it's called on number 2 for the Trojans of Fayetteville Tech of Chance Bonnat. Chance Bonnat, the guard, 6-foot sophomore from Kinston, North Carolina. He gets called for the foul. They are in bonus. There'll be a 1-and-1 at the line coming up for Darian Ruffin, Kevin Stump.
Yeah, it's just, the refs are calling it pretty even. I know that Coach Creasy and the other coach aren't very happy about it, but the other coach for Fayetteville Tech, he is definitely more animated. Coach Creasy is.
Dorian Ruffin at the line. Ruffin first shot, 1-and-1 and good. And now he'll get a chance to make it now a 2-point play. Dorian Ruffin makes his first shot. It's now a 6-point lead for the Johnston Jaguars. Biggest lead of the game at 7 if he makes it, and they do.
Nice shot.
Biggest lead so far for the blue and silver and white of the Johnston Jaguars. They're up by 7. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Amos lost it.
Oh, nice.
Turns it over. Give it back to Kamon Green. Green is there. Jumper, 2 to beat and puts it in. Can you say they're up by 9? Biggest lead for the Jaguars, and these boys are on fire now, Kevin.
Yeah, can you say faster than the cameraman? It's hard for me to keep up with these guys.
Look at the pressure. Look at the mount up. Shot for 3 off the rim. No good. Attempt by Jeremy Bryant for the Trojans. Turns it over. Here comes the Jaguars. Turned. Give it back. It'll stay Jaguars ball. Last touch by Fayetteville.
Yeah, I'm going to give you one of my favorite lines, and it might be one of your favorite lines too, but it's right now the Trojans can't hit the brass out of the barn.
And at one time, they were hanging right there with them.
Oh, man, this is a complete back-and-forth game. It's like
this game going tit for tat, back and forth, and there's a tip-off, and the ball goes out of play to midcourt. And it's last touch by Fayetteville, so the Johnston Jaguars will keep possession. Jaguars ball. Dorian Ruffin and Kamon Green will go back. Just shy of midcourt. They keep the ball. 90 seconds of play and remaining in the first half. 42-33, they're up by 9. That's Casey Perkins. Perkins finding out Kamon Green, top of the circle to Charles Walker Jr. Looking down, back to Holland. Holland to Walker. Shot for 3 on the shot clock. Off the rim.
Oh, nice
for
save,
a 3, no good, but they get the rebound back. 1 to beat. Perkins in. 2 times no good. 3rd time a charm. And Casey Perkins in number 3. Puts it in for a layup for the Jaguars and a turnover. Kamon Green got it back. A steal on the Trojans. Will carry it to the basket. He's fouled, but it's no good. He'll go to the line and shoot 2, or at least 1-and-1.
Yeah, he shot. He stole that ball, crossed up the defender, went coast to coast, and almost made the basket.
Aaron Potter called on the foul for the Trojans. This will be a 1-and-1 at the line, and Kamon Green, the freshman, will be there. Got a couple of subs coming in, but they're going to let him get his first 1-and-1 at the line. It's a 10-point lead, biggest lead for the Jaguars so far this evening here in Fayetteville. First one up, and it is no good. 2-shot foul. I think I said it was 1-and-1. It's actually a 2-shot foul. Number 14 coming in, Christian King. Number 13 of Mike Mason Jr. also in. Couple of players taking rest. 1 minute remaining here in the first half of play. On the road here in Fayetteville. 11-point lead now for the Jaguars. Biggest lead of the evening for them. 45-33. 12-point lead, actually. To the locker room they'll go. Pressure and travel called on Fayetteville. Number 4, Jace Ford turns it over, Kevin.
Yeah, it was either going to be a travel or a jump ball, so I don't know why the Trojan player was agitated about that call because, I mean, good Lord.
It was going to be something, right?
Yeah, I mean, he tried the Euro step and then got his feet tangled up. He couldn't even cross. He crossed himself up. That was his own fault.
Final 40 seconds of play. First half. Welcome to our coverage. Shot. Holland,
Nice
rebound. Got it back, though. Was number 13 of Mike Mason Jr. Throws it up. Other side of the circle looking for Broderick Benjamin. Final 20 seconds. Offense goes back to the Trojans. Or will it be? Foul on number 31 for the Trojans. Or the Jaguars of Broderick Benjamin, and a 1-and-1 at the line coming up for Fayetteville Tech.
Yeah, that was. He had already got halfway down the corner, got past him. He's trying to grab him a little bit by the back of the shirt.
Jace Ford to go to the line, the 5'11 freshman out of Fayetteville. He graduated from Over Hills High School. Right here from Boom City. A 1-and-1 at the line. 45-33. As we're about to wrap up the first half here in Fayetteville. Shot up. First one in. He'll go for a second. Basket was good. A little delay in starting because of a medical emergency. But once this game got going, it's been very fast-paced. But for now, the time being, the Jaguars have responded on offense, on defense, on rebounds, on steals, on takeaways. And Coach Creasy's got to be happy as they go to the locker room. Christian King. King now back to Mike Mason. Mason back to King.
Oh, nice
basket.
move. Oh.
Fancy work as the horn blares. Will he get one before it's over? There's a whistle with... I'm not sure what happened. There should be 1 second left on the clock.
They're going to have a conversation. The referee's going to have a conversation.
Foul on number 11 of Jeremy Bryant. There will be a shooting 1-and-1, or at least 2-shot foul coming up. And they should put 1 second left on the clock as well.
I think the referee said 0.5, so. Oh, 3 seconds. I thought he said
they're going to give them 3 seconds, actually.
2.5.
2.5 seconds remaining. Okay. That's actually being merciful. I thought it was going to be 1 second left.
And that's the joy of live broadcasting.
14. Christian King. 46-34 into the locker room they go. Oh, he almost went off the rim at the buzzard. 46-34 at the half. And the Johnston Jaguars will go to the locker room with a lead. Biggest one, still increasing. And an exciting game here tonight, Kevin Stumper, between the Johnston Jaguars and the Fayetteville Tech Trojans. A good one here tonight in Boom City.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely, the first 3 minutes, it was pretty slow. And I knew the pace was going to pick up before sooner or later, and it won't after the timeout, the medical emergency. I mean, and it has been nonstop ever since.
Yeah, it's been a good game so far. Again, we welcome you, Kevin Stump. I'm Wesley Outland. We are at the half here, and got 15 minutes to go to the locker room. All right, so Kevin, what is Coach Creasy going to say to these guys? I mean, there was some pressure earlier in the game, but it seemed like after that they kind of got their act together, started pressuring, started making points, being there at the end, getting scores, getting rebounds, takeaways, steals. Jaguars are on fire on the road here tonight in Fayetteville.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, that's just like we've talked in the pregame. It's going to take them a little bit to get their legs back from under them, but once they got past that first media timeout, that 14-minute media timeout, they have been on a roll ever since.
It has been a good one so far, and of course, it is halftime right now as it is in the locker room, a 46-34 lead. All right, so what are we going to see? What do you think we're going to see different out of the Fayetteville Tech Trojans when they come back from the locker room, Kevin?
Their coach is going to get on them about. I think he should talk to some of his players about being a little bit too selfish with the ball. They're driving, they got wide open guys, they're not kicking it, they're trying to take it. I think some of the players are trying to do more themselves. It's a team sport. Pass it to your open teammate. There ain't no one driving through the lane to try to hope to maybe get a foul and get, have 3 defenders on you when you got a man wide open that can hit a 3. So if I was coach for Fayetteville Tech, that's what I would say. And they're going to have to do a little bit better job on defense.
Yeah, and right now, there's still a lot of basketball left to play, might I add. I mean, literally, going to go to the locker room with a 46-34 lead at the half again. The Johnston Jaguars doing good. And as we talked about, Kevin, they're going to have to win these games. They're going to have to win them on the road. You're going to have to do these games for the next couple of weeks, at least on the road, until we go back to home on December 8th.
Yeah, especially this on the road, because this is a great start to this home game. To this away game on this 3-game home away stretch. Guy over here is playing Cupid Shuffle. He's got me all jacked up in my head. I'm sitting here trying to dance.
Kevin wants to break into dance mode. We're trying to work here. We are at the half. We'll let him turn the camera. We'll let him go to commercial break, and we'll be back. We are at halftime. It is 46-34. This is Jaguars basketball on CRN, the Community Radio Network, as well as for those that are watching on the Johnston Jaguars YouTube TV live pages. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone. Done. By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council. To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his...
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace. Learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
These are the sounds of a dinner that almost didn't happen. A dinner now served, thanks to people like you. Due to COVID-19, 17 million more Americans may face hunger. Feeding America is helping our neighbors in need. And if you're able, you can too. Donations are being accepted at feedingamerica.org/coronavirus. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Feeding America, 200 food banks strong.
We are at halftime here in Fayetteville, 46-34, as the players of the Fayetteville Tech Trojans of the Johnston Jaguars go back to the locker room. They got a big lead, 46-34. When we come back, Kevin Stump and myself will reassess the first half, who's the high scorers, who's in foul trouble, and so much more. For Fayetteville, this is Johnston Jaguars basketball on CRN, the Community Radio Network, and we're also simulcasting on Johnston Jaguars YouTube TV Live.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Some energy drinks want to scare you. Some even want to bully you around. And the others, they're just blowing smoke. Packed with vitamins B3, B5, B6, and B12, the new HiQ energy drink comes available in 4 exciting flavors. Skyberry Fusion, apple, coconut fruit punch, and lemon lime. Natural caffeine, no preservatives, no crash, no bull. IQ Energy Drink. Wings are for birds.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
This episode is an exclusive production solely for the private, non-commercial use of our listening audience. Any publication, reproduction, transmission of the accounts without the express written consent or permission is restricted and prohibited. To hear this replay or other previous podcasts, download on iHeartRadio, iTunes Radio, and TuneIn. As always, this show is for you. Thank you for listening.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Let me tell you about MPM, McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models to late models. And they also help the teams to make it up to the levels of K&N, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing, 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
You're listening to the Community Radio Network. Follow us via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the games at 87.5 FM or join us anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Yeah, there's about 6 minutes remaining before the start of the second half of play. Welcome back inside to Fayetteville. Wesley Outland, voice of the Johnston Jaguars, here with you along with Kevin Stump. We're at the half. 46-34 is the score. Big game, big wins right now for the Johnston Jaguars. They're doing well as the coaches now make their way back out on the court. They're doing well. They got a big score, biggest score of the game so far. And this game was very, very tight early, but now as they come back from the locker room, Johnston Jaguars wanting to capitalize, close, sign, seal, deliver on the road here tonight in Boom City and get themselves a W. Of course, that's how it stands right now at the half, 46-34. There's about 5 minutes of warm-up time remaining before they get back out on the court. And they get back to it again. It's right now both teams back out. Actually, Fayetteville has not came out of the locker room yet. But you do see the Johnston Jaguars on our broadcast coverage right there warming up right now. They're on the court. They're warming up, and they are looking good. They're very, very excited, very happy with where things are right now. And who could blame them? They've got a good game going for them. They're looking good. They're looking strong. They're looking for another big here today with these two teams. So Kevin is back here with us as well. And Kevin, I'll let you talk about some of these players, who's looking good, high points. And as Fayetteville comes back out onto the court now, they get a couple more minutes before the start of the second half. Your take of the game so far and who we got to keep an eye on.
I mean, Kareem Green's got 9 points. Perkins has got 8. Green, he's got 5 points, but he also has 3 fouls. So they're going to have to be careful on that end. And it looks like the high score for Fayetteville Tech is going to be – actually, it's going to be a tie between Key Edwards and Chance Manote. They really ain't got nobody in foul trouble. Potter's got 2. Manette's got 3. I mean, he's got 2. I'm sorry. For Johnson, Stephen Holland has 2. Then you got Ruffin, Green, Charles Walker Jr., and Roderick Benjamin each have 1 foul. So, I mean, they're looking pretty good on fouls. Branch is going to have to keep his nose clean a little bit better in the second half to make sure he don't pick up those silly fouls.
Obviously, we talked about we literally talked about what the Johnston Jaguars have done in the first half of play. What does Fayetteville need to do? What is we're going to zoom here real quickly and show Fayetteville. They're warming up on the court now. What is the Fayetteville Trojans got to turn around to change things around to be able to be there at the end to try to stop this this win on the road for the Johnston Jaguars tonight?
Yeah, they're definitely going to have to look for the extra pass and play a little bit better defense and settle down, get into their offense. Don't get so worked up and like I said, I mean they got to make the extra pass. It's like one guy does not have to steal a show with 5 guys on the court. Unless you're wide open and you keep hitting threes, you keep feeding them the ball. I mean, other than that, but they ain't nobody been like that all game, and it's just been a back and forth game. But I mean, you got to think earlier in the game, the Trojans they went on a streak. They were up by like 6 points. So, and I mean now it's a 12-point game in Johnston's favor. So I mean it's definitely a back and forth battle. So I mean you can see them come out, and it could be the Trojans could come out and maybe they've lost their broadside of the barn, not hitting nothing. I mean, they could come out. They could come out hot, and Johnson could come out cold. I mean, but the way Johnson looks out here in warm ups, I mean, they're shooting pretty good, and they've got some good passing going on. And right now, they're playing the overall better team game.
Yeah, they certainly are, and of course, there's still a lot of basketball here left to play. As we're getting the thoughts again from Kevin Stump of where we're at, where we're going, where things are. And right now, what a game they are putting in. This is Johnston Jaguars basketball. Of course, they do have to go back to the locker room. They do got to go back. They got to reset. They got to come back, try this again.
But, I mean, even at halftime, Coach Creasy's over here coaching them up on the sideline.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he was talking to Kareem Green right there, and, it's just, and it's not – when you're up by 12, the conversations are a whole lot better than when you're down by 12.
You're exactly right.
I mean, the whole complete mood is changed, from one sideline to the next.
Now, we have seen some frustration, though, showed by the coach. I mean,
both of them.
Both of them are just so, emotional about what they're doing out here.
Yeah, and it's more looking like emotional stress for the same reason for both coaches.
Yeah.
Which, it's always every game, and you hate to say it, but there's usually always one referee that likes to blow his whistle more than the other two. But I mean, hey, he call every referee is going to call the game different. They're either going to be straight down the line, or like we see in like in the girls' games. I mean, it depends on what referees you get. They might call everything here and everything there, and it could be, or they might not call anything. I mean, but, I honestly think, I know it's frustrating for the coaches and everything, but, it's it's always a stressful time. So we're going to get ready for the second half in like 45 seconds, and then we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we
last
certainly
20
will.
minutes.
All right. Well, that's the take of things. Thank you very much again to our buddy giving us the 411 on where we're at, where we're standing, where we need to go, and this game fired from over. As you just mentioned, they go back to the locker room. Welcome back to our coverage. He's Kevin Stump. I'm Wesley Outland, and we get ready for the start of the second half. 20 minutes up on the scoreboard when we come back.
Radio Network. Follow us via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to other games at 87.5 FM or join us anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Welcome back to coverage of Johnston Jaguar basketball. 46-34 at the half here in Fayetteville. Johnston Jaguars will receive the ball to inbound it and get things started here for the start of the second half.
See how they do on the other end of the court.
This game gets back underway. Here we go. Dorian Ruffin will receive the rock. By the way, they'll change up positions on the court as well. Jaguars are now going from right to left to right for Fayetteville Tech. Here we go. Shot up in front of our broadcast position. Waukee Allen. Allen looking, trying to find Perkins. Perkins goes back to Allen again. Setting up under the basket. No good. Rebound. Right back to the Trojans. So Trojans basketball. Number 10, George Jones Jr. about turned it over, tripped up. Adam Carey. Carey shot for three. Boom! And he put it in. Number 11 for the Trojans, Jeremy Bryant. And the 6'4" freshman guard makes it a three. It's 46-37 on the response quickly by Fayetteville Tech.
Yeah, let's see how Johnston's going to respond to that first shot made it a half of them.
Powers loses it, turns over, gives it back to the Trojans. 14, 11 back there again. Jeremy Bryant, all points so far. 5 now in the second half, scored by number 11 for the Trojans.
And they definitely come out of the locker room showing full court pressure. And they're
Different sides of life, by the way, by the Trojans now, if you will. Pressure. Come on, Green. Green will find number 1. That's Dorian Ruffin. Ruffin shot up. Basket. Boom. For 2. They call it a 2-point shot. It's now a 9-point lead. Basket back in. Here comes now the shot for 3. No good. Rebound. Number 11, Waukee Allen for the Jaguars. Ruffin to the basket. Nice. He puts it in and responds and makes it 2. Now back 11-point lead. 50-39. Fast-paced basketball. Number 2, I thought he hit his head on the court. He quickly dusts himself off and gets going. Ruffin again for another basket and 1. He's fouled. Basket and 1. 2 points. And as our colleague Bruce Barrett calls it, a 3-point play the old-fashioned way. He can do it as George Jones Jr. for Fayetteville is called for the foul, Kevin.
Yeah, that was a nice Euro step. He went from his right hand, which he's a right-handed shooter, and then went to his left hand and banked it off the glass. That was a beautiful shot.
And trying to make it now a 3-point play. 52-39. Dorian Ruffin shot. Makes it and good.
Ball don't lie.
53-39. And here come the Trojans. Got to back and respond.
Coach Creasy's showing a little bit of full court pressure himself.
Manat under pressure, trying to find number 10. That's George Jones Jr. under the circle, looking to find now. Carey back to the inside. Going now to 42, the big man for the Trojans of Michael Okobe. Okobe with the rock. He runs with it. Comes up short. Basket off the rim, and it's no good, and a foul is called. Tugging on the jersey was number 11, Waukee Allen for the Jaguars. And a foul is called. Both teams 1 foul each in the start of the second half of action. Non-shooting foul and a travel called on Bryant. Turns it over, give it back to the Jaguars. As now Dorian Ruffin will work his way up court. Ruffin up court under pressure. 2 men finding now Waukee Allen. Allen under the circle. Goes back to Kamon Green. Green under pressure. 2 people to beat.
Oh, nice
basket. Yes. Jermaine Vereen jumping up in 2. 55-39. Jaguars running away with it here in Boom City, Kevin Stump.
Yeah, they've been looking for that alley-oop play all week, and they finally got it.
Got it. Response number 10 to the basket and in. George Jones Jr. He'll make it.
Turnover.
And they're going to give it a turnover and give it back to Fayetteville.
Yeah, they're going to get him on the carry.
So a turnover. Putting 20 seconds on the shot clock. And it will be Trojans basketball. Manat sets up, finds now Bryant. Bryant top of the circle. Looking now for Manat again. Manat powers his way on his own. Shot for 3 by Bryant. Off the rim, and it's no good. Rebound, crash under the boards. Who comes out with it? Trojans will for the rebound. Key Edwards. And now Casey Perkins gets it back. And there's a whistle, reach in, and a foul call. And they're going to call foul on number 11 of Waukee Allen for the Jaguars.
That's actually that should never have been called because he traveled. His pivot foot slid a good six inches on the ground.
Turnover, give it back to the Trojans. It's their basketball, 16:58 remaining here. Clock ticks down in the second half of regulation. Here, Coach Creasy beside us yelling, Key Edwards. Edwards now trying to find Minot. Minot goes inside. 2 men to beat. Looking, finding number 10 in for George Jones Jr. And just like that, it's now an 8-point lead, 55-44. 10-point lead, correction. Response, rebound, no good for the Jaguars. And here come the Trojans back up on again. Daniel Green. Green looking, shot for 3. Nails it. Number 10, George Jones Jr. Good.
Like we talked about at the beginning and in at halftime, it's going to be a second half of runs by both teams.
Looking, 55-47,
Nice
and
shot.
a response by number 11, Waukee Allen, and puts it in. It's now up by 10 for the Trojans again, 57-47. 10-point lead. Minot goes inside, finds George Jones Jr. Back, looking, Jones. He got hit. It's an offensive foul.
If that's Overeem, that's 4. Yep.
And they call it on the Jaguars. Foul on number 25, Jermaine Vereen, and that's 4 fouls. That's 4 fouls on Vereen. 4 fouls on Vereen. And number 10 will go to the line. He'll shoot 2.
It looked like it was a charge to me. I don't know what the referees were looking at. On
4 fouls on Vereen as number 10. George Jones Jr. will make his first. Vereen's going to come out. So will come on Green. Number 12 and 10 for the Jaguars in. That is Charles Walker Jr. and Savon Holland back in. Vereen in foul trouble. He's got 1 more and he's out. 4 fouls called. George Jones Jr. Ball goes bobbing off the nets and goes in. So both free throws good on the foul line for George Jones. Number 1 to the basket, Dorian Ruffin. Ruffin almost turns it up. Come on, Green got it back. Here comes now around the circle. Charles Walker Jr. Charles Walker Jr. fucking finding Holland under pressure. He fights for it. Does he keep the ball? They still call no jump ball. They will now.
Nope. They're going to get number 1 with timeout.
They've all got pushing. Pushing is called. Number 1 got the ball back. It was a little aggressive.
They're going to give it to Ruff, and they're going to give him the timeout.
And there's a timeout, so it will be Jaguars ball. So it's not the Trojans basketball. It's number 1, Dorian Ruffin called for a timeout when he had the ball on the ground, and it's a call on the Jaguars, and the Jaguars will keep possession, Kevin, unofficially. That's what we're being told.
Yeah, it was going to get him with a 30-second timeout.
We'll take one with them.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
57-49. A jump ball was called. It was Dorian Ruffin that had the rock when he went to the ground. Great offensive, defensive effort by Kay Edwards for the Trojans, the Fayetteville Tech, to try to take it. But they said Ruffin called the timeout before he got the ball gone. And it is Trojans Jaguars basketball. Holland, he's going to get fouled now. He's going to go to the line and shoot 2. Foul on number 0, Daniel Green on the block for the Trojans, and this will bring number 10 of sophomore Savon Holland to the line. And by the way, Kevin, I don't know if you hit on this or not. All freshmen and sophomores. There's no juniors. There's no senior college class in the Jaguars roster. These are all young stars.
Yeah, we haven't talked about that much since the very first game of the year. You know, we were both getting acclimated with both of the teams, or the teams that were playing the men's and the women's. I mean,
basket's good. 58-49. A 9-point lead. And now Minot with the rock for the Trojan sets up, looks for George Jones Jr., top of the circle. Back to Jones. Coming back around to the sweeper to Green.
Nice.
They turn it over. Coming out with the ball as the Jaguars will turn it back over, gave it right back to him. And Johnston turns it over, give it to Fayetteville, and they score with K. Edwards under the basket. Under pressure, changing up the tempo, changing up their defense package on the Jaguars, if you will. Dorian Ruffin now sets it up and finds Charles Walker Jr. C. Perkins, basket! And good for two. Thought for a second it was going to pop in and out like popcorn. 11-point lead, 60-51, 14 minutes remaining in regulation. Ball goes in and out. Rebound, busting through. Waukese Allen for the rebound for the Jaguars.
No offense, Wesley, but that was a corny pun.
Timeout.
You're pun about the popcorn.
Oh, well. Don't interrupt me when I'm in play-by-play mode. 60-51, 11-point lead. We got a whistle and a foul. You've seen the ball pop in and out like popcorn?
Yeah, but that was a corny joke. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Hey, somebody's got to keep you honest.
Chase Ford coming in. Here comes now the Jaguars. It'll be their basketball, number 1. Dorian Ruffin. Ruffin will go back to Waukese Allen. Allen will go find Perkins. Perkins inside. Finding Ruffin. Ruffin looking for Allen. And there's a reach in and a foul.
Foul number 1.
Push foul on the Trojans for one of Edwards, the 6'3" freshman guard from Hickory, graduated from Montreat College. It'll be Jaguar basketball on the non-shooting foul. Johnston Jaguars still leading. Ruffin sets it up. Back to Holland. Holland goes back down to Charles Walker Jr. Under the basket. Back, resets to Ruffin again. Somehow, somewhere around the circle, they've done the triangle, and they made it work, and they're resetting the tempo. Here comes now number 1, Ruffin. Ruffin will find now. 5 on the shot clock. Shot is up. Off the rim. Still no good. Shot clock violation. It turns it over back to Fayetteville Tech.
Yeah, they had to pay a little bit more attention coming out of that turnover. What the shot clock was, it did not reset.
60-51, a shot clock violation of the Jaguars. And it will be Fayetteville ball. That's Carey. Carey now looking inside, finding under the basket. Green. And no one there. Rebound to the Trojans. Jaguars got it. They bust through. No, they don't. Powered back up under the nets and good. Number 14, Adam Carey for 2. For Fayetteville, Johnston Jaguars responding. 13 minutes remaining in the regulation of the second half. Waukese Allen basket shot up, no good. Here we go again. They're responding.
Wide open down low.
And right there opened up the door to number 1, Key Edwards, and he put it in for an easy layup.
Just like that, it's a 5-point game.
It's just like that again, a 5-point lead for Johnston. They better hold on to it. 13 minutes remaining in regulation. They turn it over. Last touch by Fayetteville Jaguar ball.
Oh, Lord, that was a loud whistle.
33-2 coming in now for Johnston. That is going to be DeAndre Dabney and Kamon Green. 5-point lead, 60-55. And I believe we got a timeout on the court. Immediate timeout. We'll take one with them. Stand by.
Some energy drinks want to scare you. Some even want to bully you around. And the others, they're just blowing smoke. Packed with vitamins B3, B5, B6, and B12, the new HiQ energy drink comes available in 4 exciting flavors. Skyberry Fusion, Apple, Coconut Fruit Punch, and Lemon Lime. Natural caffeine, no preservatives, no crash, no bull. HiQ energy drink. Wings are for birds.
So the timeout is done. Right now, Johnston Jaguars out in front. They're leading 60-55. Next game will be on, let's see here. It's going to be December 2nd, which is a Thursday game. Women's basketball, Johnston Jaguars travel to Brunswick. I think it's in Wilmington. I don't know if we're going to cover that game or not, Kevin. That's too far away.
Brunswick,
They won't let us ride on the charter bus yet, so if they would, then we could be able to. But it's just a pretty long haul to Wilmington. Then you got the doubleheader weekend swing as men basketball will travel to Southwest Virginia on the 3rd. December 4th, they take on Patrick Henry College for games at 6 p.m. Eastern on Friday, December the 3rd. December the 4th, they play a 3 p.m. game. And that's the upcoming schedule for the men and the women, Johnston Jaguars. JaguarPride.com for all more information. Here we go, JCCJaguarPride.com. The basket. No good, there's a whistle. And they're going to call it on the Jaguars. Last touch. It'll be continued Trojans basketball, Kevin.
Yeah, luckily it's, I know it's a 6-point lead still, and keep playing good defense, and the shot's either going to fall or not. So
61-55, back around the top of the Kirkwood circle. They find him again. Number 10 to the basket. George Jones looking circle inside. Powers to the basket. It's Potter. Potter's been strong in the first half. Haven't mentioned him much in the second, but here he comes. They play for the ball. It's a shot clock violation on the Trojans, and it'll be Jaguar basketball, Kevin.
that's just like I was saying. Just keep playing the hard defense, and the ball's going to do what it does. And in that case, the ball didn't do nothing because they had a shot clock violation.
It's Jaguar basketball as Kamon Green brings it up at midcourt. And what a job they put on. Shot, rim, in and out.
Rebound.
That was the attempt by Charles Walker Jr. for the rebound. Under the basket, Patrick Dabney. Last touch by Johnston. It's Fayetteville basketball. Number 2, Chance Bonnat coming in for the Trojans. Inbound, and it will be Jeremy Bryant, guard, 6 freshman from Washington, North Carolina for the Trojans. And here we go again. 12-18. This game sanctioned by the National Junior Collegiate Athletic Association. To the basket. Pressure. In. Oh, and the ball gets launched in the net in the backboard. That'll stop the clock with 12 minutes remaining in regulation. We've only seen that happen 2 times this year, Kevin.
Yep, and one of those was in the women's game.
61-55 after the ball launched. Here we go again, and he's out of bounds. Turns it over. Give it back to the Johnston Jaguars. Quick turnover, and Jaguars are going to lick their chops and accept that gift, Kevin.
Yeah, that was a bad turnover for them, but I mean, it's good for us because it is a turnover.
12 minutes remaining in regulation. 61-55 the score. 3 team fouls on the Jaguars, 5 on the Trojans. Shot for 3 and good. Number 12, Charles Walker Jr.
Yeah, that was nothing but the bottom of the net.
Yes, sir. Found nothing but the basket. And the deer in the headlights now for the Trojans. Now down by 9 again. And there's a whistle and a foul. I think they called on Kamon Green for the Jaguars. And this is going to be a 2-shot foul.
It's going to be on Holland, but that was a late whistle because the ball had already went.
He's coming out, though. I thought it was on Kamon Green. 3 fouls on Kamon Green.
Holland.
On Holland. Okay, 3 fouls on Holland. So the foul was on Holland. My apologies. Number 10, Savon Holland, the call of the foul. Kamon Green was like, it's not on me. It's not on me.
Yes, you got Vereen on the bench. He's got 4, and Holland's got 3, so they're going to have to keep an eye on them, too.
Vereen and Holland foul trouble, 4 and 3. First basket, no good. Here we go for number 1, Key Edwards. Second shot, and in. So he'll miss this first free throw, makes his second, and it is 64-56. 8-point lead.
Yeah, it's fluctuating between 5 and 8. So I mean, they're
at one time they had a 14-point lead, and they turned it over and made it so close again. And they're going to call it on Johnston Jaguar and turn over and give it back to Fayetteville. Out of bounds on Johnston Jaguars, turns it over, gives it back to Fayetteville Tech. Chance Minot to the ball. Minot sets up, finding now Adam Carey. Top of the circle, under the basket, whistle, and there is a foul.
Now they're going to get green.
Foul on number 2. Come on, Green. How many on that? 2 fouls on Green now. Still got plenty of time left. 11.5 remaining in regulation. Hinton will put it back inbound for the Trojans. The back. Adam Carey. Carey now finding, looking. Minot. Shot! Goes to the back around. And they're going to call it a turnover on Fayetteville Tech. Give it to the Johnston Jaguars, Kevin.
Yeah, that was good defense right there. And again, Trojans got full court pressure going. It looks like both coaches are going back and forth, but at full court pressure to slow the game down a little bit.
To the basket. Shot.
Nice
and
shot.
Good. Dorian Ruffin for 2 and a fader jumper and in.
Yeah, that was pretty. He was going to his left, had to shoot it back to the right. That was a great shot.
And they're back up by 10 again. Closing in halfway here in the second half of play to regulation time. Shot for 3, and a response made by Fayetteville. Downtown, Adam Carey, and good. 66-59. Come on, Green, off the rebound. Basket no good. They get it back. Ball to the ground. Coming up with it is DeAndre Dabney. And there's a whistle and a foul. And Dabney's going to go to the line. He's going to shoot 2 as a foul is called on Green.
That's going to be his second. But that was good hustle by Dabney. Get in there, get the rebound, and then get fouled.
Just like that. A shot for a 3-pointer by Fayetteville, and now they go back to the free throw line for the Jaguars with DeAndre Dabney. He'll make his first. Here comes number 24, Potter, back in. As Hinton will come off court. Jalen Hinton. Aaron Potter from Winston-Salem. Freshman 6-foot guard for the Trojans coming in. And both shots good at the free throw line. 67-59. And once again, pressure mounts. 8-point lead. Shot for 3. Did he get fouled? No, he didn't. He fell on his own. No whistle called. And no good on the basket. The rebound. Come on, Green stops him, slows down the tempo, lets him reset. Ruffin goes back, looking around for Allen. Allen, the Charles Walker Jr. 3-point shot, no good. Under the basket, whistle and a reach-in foul on Green. And foul 2 in a row now on number 0, Daniel Green. And come on, Green. One Green to another Green will go to the line and shoot 2.
Yeah, that's going to be 3 fouls on him. So
3 fouls now on Daniel Green for Fayetteville Tech.
Yeah, he picked up 2 fouls in a matter of 15 seconds.
And come on, Green with 10 minutes remaining in regulation of the line, and he'll make his first free throw. So Green's going to come out. He's in foul trouble. He's got 3 now. Key Edwards will come back on the court. Remember,
you got to remember, Vereen picked up his foul first.
Holland with 3, Jermaine Vereen with 4 fouls. Those are the Jaguars in foul trouble.
Yeah, he hadn't been in the game. He's been off the court for a good 7 minutes.
By 10, here we go. Come on, Green, back on pressure. And now here comes Fayetteville, back to respond. This is Chance Minot. Minot, the guard, 6-foot sophomore. Juking, jiving under pressure by Dabney. Dabney also Ruffin. There under the basket.
Nice
It's
block.
short. They're going to call it a block, and it's going to be called on Johnston. A block is called on number 1, Dorian Ruffin. And 2 fouls on Ruffin now. 16 fouls on the Jaguars, 17 fouls on the Trojans. 2-shot foul coming up, number 2 at the line. Chance Minot, the 6-foot sophomore out of Kinston, North Carolina. And the guard will shoot 2. Little working on cleaning up the court real fast. And now they'll reset. Chance Bernard back on the free throw line for the Fayetteville Tech Trojans. First shot up, and it's good. And just like that, down by 9. They were down by 10. Now it's a 9-point lead. And the points continue to just fluctuate back and forth, Kevin. And we've talked about that several times.
Yeah, this game ain't been nothing but back and forth.
Both free throws good. 8-point lead now for the Trojans. Down to the Jaguars. Fayetteville trying to come back. Johnston trying to lead Boom City with a win. Pressure. Come on, Green. Blitz reach in and a foul. Foul on number 1. And it's on Kay Edwards. And a push on 3 fouls now on Key Edwards. So 3 fouls. Come on, Green will go back to the line, and the freshman's going to shoot 2.
Yeah, he's had a great game tonight.
They are 1 foul away from the bonus and the 1-and-1. Shot. Come on, Green. This was the 1-and-1. My apologies. They called the 1-and-1 this time. Potter on the rebound for the Trojans. He got it back. Aaron Potter. Come on, Green. Trying to reach in and grab it. Backed off. No whistle there. Shot. Power to the basket goes Carey. Carey back to Potter. Big man to the basket. It comes in and out. No good. Bouncing, responding, 14. Adam Carey with the assist after Potter missed. And they get it in, Kevin.
Yeah, it looked like Potter was, like we said, in the halftime. Potter just tried. There goes another turnover. Potter was doing too much.
Turnover Jaguars, and Potter basketing good. Potter all the way from one side of the court to the other and puts it in. Under 9 minutes remaining in regulation of the second half of play in Fayetteville.
You got Vereen right here at the scores table. Coach Chris is getting ready to put him back in.
And remember, he is Vereen has 4 fouls. Holland with 3. Shot. Basket off the rim. It's no good. To the ground they go. Comes back with the rebound is Keith Allen. Allen picks it up. Dabney's there. They fight under the basket and a whistle and foul. Fast-paced action and a foul is called on the Trojans of Adam Carey. And we've got subs coming in. That's 2 fouls on Carey now. Here comes now Perkins coming in. And Jermaine Vereen with 4 fouls. He's back in the game. On the subs coming in. 69-65 shot. Misses it.
What do they always say? What do they always say? You got to make the free ones down.
You got to make your free throw shots. You got to make your free throw shots. You got to make them.
Because you know when it gets close to the end of the game, both teams will be fouling each other. So I mean, it could very well easily come down to free throws in this game. And right now, Johnson's not doing their part.
69-65. Basket up. DeAndre Dabney. 70-65. 8:20 remaining in regulation. $70-65 is a 5-point lead. Just like that, Jaguars responding with a 3-point shot by Potter, and they're down by 2. You open the door, you let them right back in this game.
And he's got the last 7 for them.
Last 7 points scored by Potter. Aaron Potter for Fayetteville. And Johnston Jaguars are under pressure now, down by 2. They just like that have let Fayetteville Tech get right back in the ball game. They're going to call a timeout. Coach will call a timeout, and we will take one with them.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that our daughters have what they need to grow and learn. But that isn't the case for nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. that struggle with hunger.
Childhood hunger is a heartbreaking reality that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and provides it to families and children in need.
You can help kids in need in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
All right, Kevin, just like that, Johnston Jaguars, they've let Fayetteville Tech get back into this game. They're only leading by 2.
Yeah, like we have basically talked about the whole game. It's a game of runs. And like I said, Johnston could come out and not hit the ball, hit the shots, and Fayetteville Tech could. And Johnston's still hitting theirs, just not at the consistency that Fayetteville Tech's been hitting theirs. But their team has a few players with lesser fouls, so they have a little bit more chance to be a little bit more wide open with their offense.
It is 70-68. The Fayetteville Tech Trojans have got back in the dogfight with the Jaguars. It's a 2-point lead, 70-68 here with 7:48 left in regulation of the second half. Perkins will inbound it for the Johnston Jaguars. Sets it up to the man in foul trouble of Jermaine Vereen. He's got to be careful. Come on, Green is there. Fighting 2 or 3 under the basket. And it's a shot clock violation on Johnston Jaguars. And what is that, 2 or 3 now on Johnston they've had happen to them?
Yeah, that's at least 2 in the second half, and I'm pretty sure 3 for the game.
So it'll be Jaguars turning it over again, giving it back to Fayetteville Tech.
Yeah, and if Fayetteville Tech's the way they've been shooting the ball, you can't give them free opportunities.
Under the basket, shot attempt up, short. Coming after it. Come on, Green. Green sets to Perkins. Perkins inside. Shot. DeAndre Dabney gets short. Rebound coming back after it. Here comes now the Trojans responding. Chance Manott. Manott. Great games he's played so far for Fayetteville. And down the stretch we roll. George Jones Jr. now with the ball. Powers to the basket, and it's no good. Jermaine Vereen's got to be careful. He's got 4 fouls. Nice juke and jive back to Dabney.
That was close to being a travel at half court.
Back to Vereen. Perkins under the basket. And he turns it over, gives it back to Fayetteville. Here comes McKees Allen and both 11s for the Jaguars and Trojans coming in the game. Also, Jeremy Bryan is in. It is Fayetteville basketball. 6.5 remaining. Kevin, you're going to have to help me pack up when we get off the air. We're going to have to get off the air fast.
Yes, sir, boss.
Yes, sir. I hate it when you call me that. Here we go. Under the pressure we roll with Daniel Green. Green, 6 minutes remaining in regulation. Sets up, goes back to Manott. Manott under pressure, goes inside. Looking, finding, Potter, basket, 2, in. Fancy footwork and the handball movement as well. And Potter puts it in for 2, and we're tied even at 70.
And it'd be fitting that he tied the ball game because he's got their last 9 points.
Come on, Green under pressure, about how to reach in there by Jones. Saves it, stops, slows down the tempo. Jermaine Vereen for 3, again and good. They called it a 2-point shot. I thought he had it in the line. It's a 2-point shot. They're back up by 2. Fayetteville responds. This is for the lead. Nails it! Number 24, Aaron Potter with a field goal. And they're up by 1.
And make it 12 points in a row for him.
Johnston has let Fayetteville get back in the game, and now they're back in the lead. 11, Marquise Allen, basket, and 1, and good. Casey Perkins to the line. And this basket, plus the foul shot, will tie the game.
What we say earlier, you got to make your 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the game.
Foul by Jeremy Bryan for the Trojans. That's his 4th, I believe.
What number was it on?
Number 11, Bryant.
Yeah, it's his 3rd.
3rd foul on Bryant. Okay. He needs this shot. He needs this free throw. And he missed it. And they missed it. Trojans lead by 1. 5 minutes remaining in regulation. Potter, who just made the bombing three to give him the lead, has now got the rock, and he slows down the tempo. 5 minutes to go in regulation of the second half. Under pressure. Looking now for number 10. That's George Jones. Shot 3. Nails it again. 2 field goals in a row.
He's got 15 points this half.
And now it's a 2-point lead, 76-74.
Yeah, Potter's got 15 points in the second half.
Johnston's got to slow it down and respond. Shot by Allen for 3 off the rim. No good. Rebound. Give it back to Fayetteville. Perkins just couldn't get back under it in time. Chance Minot with a rock. And he calls timeout. They call a timeout on the court.
30-second timeout.
Let me tell you about MPM. McAllister Precision Marketing. They can assist up-and-coming racers with career advancement, promotion, and assist in sponsorship procurement. MPM also has media and professional etiquette training. They work with premier driver development teams and limited late models, and they also have teams that make it up to the levels of KMN, ARCA, Truck Series, and even NASCAR Xfinity. Contact Tanya McAllister today at McAllister Precision Marketing. 803-361-6199. Today, get on the board with MPM.
Back here in Fayetteville, a 2-point lead on 76-74. Johnston Jaguars has let Fayetteville Tech Trojans get back in this game, Kevin Stump.
Yeah,
and Coach Creasy is not happy.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, he has every right to be. I mean, they're going to have to start playing a little bit better defense on Potter because he is eating them alive on his baskets in the second half.
Got to respond as Potter has now had 2 field goals in a row, the one that took the lead and the one that now have a 2-point lead. 76-74. They're only down by 2. Johnston only down by 2. 10 on the shot clock. Under pressure is Minot. Minot sets it up to Potter. Potter back under around, finding Bryant and in for 2. Now they're down by 4. 78-74. Dorian Ruffin finding Kamon Green. Green now looking for Marquise Allen. Under the basket, Perkins shot off the rim for 3, and it's no good. Coming back, Kamon Green gets it in and puts it in 2. Now
yeah, back and forth. I mean, it's going 3:53 left in the second half. It's going to come down, I think, who can make the free throws and who's going to get the ball last.
And I think it's going to come down to also fouling people to run the clock down, too.
Yeah.
Under pressure, under the basket.
Another 3 by number 11.
Another 3-point shot, and now it's 81-76. That was Jeremy Bryant putting it in. Dorian Ruffin, Kamon Green sets it up now. Varing for 3, and he misses it.
In and out.
The rebound, jump ball's called, and it's going to go back to the Jaguars. Possession arrow will go to the Jaguars. It's their ball. $76-81, 3:20 remaining here in regulation of the second half. The men will have a break tomorrow. They have doubleheader action on Friday and Saturday on the road. Fayetteville back up court. They're leading by 5. Or now they're only down by 3. Shot. Responding. Short. Ran, it's touched. It goes into the Fayetteville bench, and it's Jaguar basketball, Kevin. That's a gift.
Yeah, that was it. Banged awkwardly off the backboard. Number 1 for Fayetteville Tech couldn't get hold of it.
81-78. Up court, here we come again. Ruffin will find Perkins. Perkins shot in off the rim. Short, come on, Green. Green back around. Green, he got blocked. They blocked it. There's a whistle and there's a foul. They're going to call it on number 1. Offensive foul is actually the call on Marquise Allen. Allen has 4. 3 on Allen. 81-78. And then got to go to the line, and it's a 1-and-1 at the line for number 1, Key Edwards.
Box out.
Edwards to the line. He'll shoot.
Right now, Fayetteville Tech's doing what they're supposed to do. They're making their free throws.
83-78. Shot. Rim, no good. Number 1.
I mean, it's like right now, it's complete opposite of the first half.
That's right.
Johnston can't hit nothing, and Fayetteville Tech can't miss.
Waukee silent and rough and under pressure. Potter to the basket. Shot up for 3. No good. Rebound. Johnston Jaguars. 2 minutes or minutes in regulation remain. Here they come. Can they respond? Come on, Green. Couldn't get the rebound. They got it back. They're fighting under the basket for it. Give it back to Fayetteville.
Yeah, Breen had to be careful right there. He was going to pick up his 5th foul.
And they're going to call a foul. Foul by Key Edwards. 3rd foul on Edwards for the Trojans.
It's actually going to be on Ruffin, I think. Yeah, it's going to be on Ruffin.
Correction, they call the foul on Ruffin, Dorian Ruffin. That's his 3rd foul for the Johnston Jaguars.
Let's go. Spread the floor. Let's go. Rebound.
And it's another 1-and-1 at the line. 1:52 remaining here. 83-78. Shot for the 1-and-1. Off the rim, no good. Johnston Jaguars, they respond. Down by 5. Need a big 3. A shot by Allen. Short. And they let Fayetteville hold on to the rock. Power to the basket. Basket and 1. Number 10, George Jones Jr. powered his way to the basket, and he got fouled. 4 fouls. Was that on Holland?
Yes.
And Savon Holland has 4 fouls. Jermaine Vereen has 4. And another 1-and-1 at the line. Or a basket and 1, actually.
Yeah, Ruffin and Allen's got 3 each.
And he makes it. 86-78, and we got a timeout on the court.
To protect his family from disaster, Steve used his camera phone.
Done.
By taking pictures of his important documents, Steve can always have them stored online. Learn more simple disaster prep tips at ready.gov. A message from FEMA and the Ad Council.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
So we got a timeout on the court. 86-78 the score. All right, Kevin, what is Coach Creasy and this coaching staff telling these Jaguars right now? Honestly, they let Fayetteville get back in this game.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, but you got to think Potter's got 13 points in this second half. I mean, he made like 10 points in a row within a matter of like 4 minutes. It's basically my honest opinion and taking this right here. You could really break down this game like 4 10-minute quarters. Johnston did good the first. I mean, Tech did good like the first 10 minutes of the first half, and then Johnston opened up, and then Johnston came out and continued that after halftime, had, a 12-point lead. And then the last 9 minutes, I mean, it's been all Fayetteville Tech. It's like they can't miss a shot.
86-78, Johnston Jaguars let the ball roll. The clock won't start until he grabs it, and now it does. Final 90 seconds of regulation. Shot for 3, attempt. by Holland, and it's no good. And here comes Fayetteville back to respond. And he slams one in. In a definition by Key Edwards, this is my house. Here comes Waukese Allen. Allen to Holland. Holland inside to Perkins, and they'll turn it over, and they lost it. Give it back to Key Edwards. 10-point lead now for the Jaguars, down by the Trojans, and a reach in and a foul. Foul on number 12 for the Jaguars of Charles Walker Jr. That's his second foul. 1 minute and 2 seconds remaining in regulation. Understanding both teams are in the double bonus on both sides.
And you got Porter coming out of the game for the Trojans. Looks like he's injured his hand, possibly. Get checked out by the training staff over here.
$89-78. Basket up and good. 90-78. They're down by 12. Biggest deficit. They're going to fix the clock here. .27 on the shot clock is what they're doing here. 90-78. It's a 12-point lead. 1 minute remaining in regulation here in Fayetteville. Ruffin. Come on, Green. Back to Ruffin again. Holland. Shot for three. No good. Come on, Green does get the rebound, but he touched it last and turns it over. Gives it back to Fayetteville. And Kevin, if you're Fayetteville, you're just going to let this ball you're going to let the clock run down here.
Oh, yeah.
Don't foul. Don't make mistakes. And score, and that's exactly what they did. Another score by Key Edwards. To the basket again. Another shot. Basket and one. He's fouled. 2 point, now possibly a 3-point play. Tomorrow, Community Radio Network, we travel to Goldsboro. Bruce Barrett and myself cover Clayton Comets basketball as the Clayton Comets take on Rosewood. Coverage will begin at 5:45 Eastern Time tomorrow night from Rosewood High. Shot off the rim, no good. So a basket and no one for his extra shot. Give it back now to Fayetteville, 92-80. And he's letting the clock run down. Number 12 reaches in, throws a foul. Charles Walker Jr. And with 19 seconds left, that's his third foul. 20 seconds remaining in regulation.
Just like we talked about at halftime, I mean, it is coming down to the free throws. They're each fouling each other, but Johnston can't make theirs, and Fayetteville Tech can't miss. Like we called, it's been a game of runs.
Basket and good. 93-80. This could be the proverbial nail coffin for the Johnston Jaguars here in Fayetteville now. Both baskets good. 94-80. Clock runs down. Final 15 seconds. Shot for three, short. Rebound, give it back to Fayetteville, and this will let the clock run down. Chance Minot running at midcourt, running with the ball. There's the horn. That's the game. 94-80. And the Fayetteville Tech Trojans come back. And that's the honest two words to say. They come back and they beat the Johnston Jaguars here in their own house tonight in Boom City, Kevin.
Yeah, the second half, Johnston just couldn't hit no shots at all. The first part of the second half, they were up by 12. And then after the 13-minute media timeout, that was pretty much it.
Celebration going on. Teams shaking hands, good sportsmanship. And we are going to pack it up and get out of here quickly as well. Jaguar basketball. Final score, 94-80. When it's all said and done. Thanks to everybody. For Derek Arnold, the athletic director. For Jay Creasy, coach of the Johnston Jaguars, of course. For Kevin Stump, I'm Wesley Outland. Thank you for watching coverage from Fayetteville. Final score, Johnston Jaguars. Blues won here down the stretch in the second half of play, 94-80. Be good to one another. Thanks for watching coverage of Jaguars basketball on the Community Radio Network and on our Johnston Jaguar YouTube page. Thank you so much. Jaguars Nation's next coverage will be on Thursday. Of course, the men will have a doubleheader Friday and Saturday on the road. Follow all coverage at jccjaguarpride.com. For Kevin Stump, I'm Wesley Outland. Be good. Have a good night.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent. We hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
You're listening to the Community Radio Network. Follow us via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to other games at 87.5 FM or join us anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.